Okie dokie, now my actual thoughts on the Doomsday DLC. To drop the bomb right off the bat, when I first saw the trailer, I got really upset. More military stuff, more alienating from the core of the game. Well, yes and yes, but credit has to be given to Rockstar. I will man up for this. Rockstar, thank you. Thank you for not reskinning another DLC and creating a brand new narrative and experience. So let's get into the nitty gritty of this DLC and why I think this might be really good. Rockstar went out of their way to create more heists for GTA Online. Instead of just reskinning a previous DLC, this DLC ties into the previous DLCs. I felt like I said DLC like 10 times in that sentence. The only concern I have is for the people who don't own a bunker or hangar, or both. I feel like some of these items might be locked behind a cheeky paywall. For instance, for the Ardent, you'll probably need an MOC to fully customize it. But all in all, it looks really good. The difference between this and gun running, instead of just like plonking in a bunch of military vehicles, this time around they added a story where it all makes sense to have these ridiculous vehicles. For whatever reason, both gun running and Smuggler's Run feel like it has a whole lot more sense as well right now. Remember when I told you about the actual story of GTA Online? You start out as a criminal, you do a few missions for a few minor crooks, you become a CEO or you become a biker gang, you expand your business further, you go into the heavy arms dealer, and the next step, with all the stuff, weapons, your entire enterprise, you're gonna have to save Los Santos now. You see what I mean? All the previous DLCs make sense now. Not that I'm gonna instantly redeem the choices of the insane prices right away, but at least it did save some of the aspects of the game itself. So thank you for that, Rockstar. This DLC will be expensive, but this time around I kinda understand why. We are buying military equipment to save the world. This to me is a whole lot different than in Gun Running or Smuggler's Run, where they were just there, right? To do the same missions and the same sourcing missions over and over until the end of days. So as for the previous DLCs, it kind of all makes sense in its own ridiculous way as well now. We have a bunker, a hangar, and it all led up to this DLC, a final use for all of the vehicles we obtained to save the world from absolute destruction. But I can't stress enough, this is where this DLC is different. With Gun Running, it felt slightly out of place. With Smuggler's Run, it felt slightly out of place. Also, the missions of Gun Running and Smuggler's Run were both very boring and repetitive. Go over there, steal some shit, go back to your bunker, rinse and repeat a million times, and then bring the stuff you brought back to another place. All of that to unlock trade prices and earn a bit of money for the new vehicles. And finally, we have a good use for all of these vehicles instead of making free roam an absolute miserable place. Now, of course, this DLC isn't out yet, but I'm working on a video with the current estimate cost. I'll have that video out tomorrow, so do stay tuned for that, because the way I see this DLC go, it will probably be the most expensive update by far. And I did a similar video on Smuggler's Run. I was really happy that the estimate cost of the vehicles we saw in the trailer was actually ridiculously close to what the final outcome was. I think I was like off by 2 million. Now back to the Doomsday Heist. So we're getting a bunch of new heists, a lot of new interior locations, new characters, new vehicles, new story, new narrative, new way to make money. Now Rockstar, this is what I call a goddamn DLC. Regardless of all the military stuff and weapons you throw at us, once again, I am at least happy about the effort you make. And the community really agrees. I asked my subscribers if they were more or less happy with this DLC as for the previous DLCs, and the outcome was staggering. Like 800 people voted and a whopping 85% is really excited for this. So that is really a good thing. Now, one last thing I'd like to mention, the pricing of this DLC. Even though we don't have a clue what the actual cost of this DLC will be, I can predict that it will cost a way and a lot more than anything we have ever had in GTA Online. This, of course, is a good thing for Rockstar. They're gonna make a lot of money. But am I really like upset about this in this particular scenario? No. No, I am not upset that all these things will cost a lot of money. Now, it looks like I'm contradicting myself heavily, especially since I put out a video where I full-on blasted Rockstar and Take-Two for microtransactions not even a week ago. But this time around, it is different. we are probably talking about the one last DLC. This is endgame material, so why would you make all this stuff extremely cheap? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me if they were to do that. Why would you do that? You need a reason to keep playing GTA Online even after you play the full heist. So making vehicles expensive, most people will just keep the grind up. And in hindsight, this kinda applies to everything we got released in the past. But what upset me in the past is the repetitive nature of every DLC since Finance a Felony, and the fact that it just felt like, yo guys, here's a lot of military bullshit, have fun, blow each other up. This time around it's just different. The other thing, and I wish I could find a comment, but a subscriber commented to me, and it was such a smart thing that he said. With all this military material we got, that just became the new norm for GTA Online. The game we used to play, right, with the normal cars and the normal being a crook life, those days are just over. That's gone. It's all militarized right now, so that's a new norm, and I can keep getting upset about all of that. But what is the point, really? There is no going back at this point, even though I very much still at this point wish it didn't go down that route. I really do. I wish they just stayed to the roots of GTA Online, where you were just a criminal on the street trying to make ends meet by doing criminal stuff, and not go on some sort of doomsday scenario where you have to save the world from the goddamn Koreans. Like, that's not GTA, Rockstar. Really, please don't do that for GTA 6. Please, I hope you guys agree with me on that one. Now, don't get me wrong, these heists will probably get repetitive as well at some point. And as for me, I will play them all. I will probably play them all once, but after that, I'll probably never play them again. And if I had the full experience and fiddled around with every vehicle, I will most likely stop playing GTA Online altogether until there will be a next DLC. And if there won't be another DLC, this heist will probably be the last thing I will play in GTA Online altogether. And I kind of feel like a bunch of you feel the same way. And a lot of you are really happy that this DLC is finally here, but at the same time, we're all done with GTA. Now let me know what you think about this video and my thoughts on the Doomsday Heist in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe for more GTA content. You guys, peace out. Squeaky chair.